Hello, this is Mr. Jared, and in this video tutorial, I'm going to be taking you through creating your background for your cartoon portrait. So what I currently have for this activity is just step number 7, and this might change when you watch this video, but I have a couple different background options, and of course there's a lot more than this, but these are just some simple ones. One of the simple ones that I'm going to take you through here is option 1 and 2. The first one is just making a simple circle. A lot of the cartoon portraits that I have found online have this kind of background, so that's what we mainly make in class. You can, of course, make your own abstract background just by using whatever tutorial you may find or shapes that you want to make in the background. And then, some other type of background. This one here just has a gradient. So you can feel free to research or find different things if you like. I have a couple different links here that might take you out to places that will be helpful to give you some inspiration. But I also have these written directions. So my steps down here that I have are for option 1 and 2. They're mainly for option 1, but you can kind of adapt it for option 2. So taking you through this, it says to turn off your original image, lock all of your layers, select the background layer. So I'm going to continue reading right down through this, and I'm going to also just pull up my Illustrator. So this is the quick Jack Black one that I did. I know this could definitely be improved. Just looking at this, it kind of bugs me because I can see certain spots that I know I didn't spend as much time on that as I should have. But getting back to the directions here, the directions say your original image, lock all the layers, and select your background layer. So it says to turn off your original image. Okay, so mine was on. Let's turn it off. Lock all of your layers. So you could just simply click and hold and drag right down through. And select your background layer. That's this. Okay, so it's not selecting anything out here. Just select your background layer. Now it says use the circle tool or another drawing tool. That would be if you're doing the abstract background. Use the circle tool to make the background shape you want. Okay, select the shape, and then it says we're going to be using the eyedropper tool to select a unique color within the image. Something that stands out, maybe the eyes, the clothes, the lips, the earrings. It really depends on what your person has. If they have bright blue eyes, that would normally be something that stands out, or maybe like some lipstick on that's bright, or some eyeshadow or something, or some color that you can play off of from their clothes. So we are going to be creating the circle, selecting it, and then using the eyedropper tool. So on my background layer, I'm just going to get my circle tool or the ellipse tool. And if you hold in Alt and Shift, it will create a circle from the middle. So I'm going to find what I think is the middle of his head and maybe move over a little bit to the left. Okay, and then I'll just draw out my circle, whatever size I think. And you can place this by moving it up. Maybe I want his beard down here to kind of hang out the bottom, so it's not just a circle. Maybe this goes up a little too high. Maybe I want his head to kind of break the circle itself, kind of just pop out to the side. So it's something that's kind of offset like this. You can, of course, play with it. I went to the left because his head is more to the right. So that's your choice, however you want to do this. But then it says, with that selected, we are going to use the eyedropper tool and find some unique color. So everything on him is basically brown and a little bit of beige, other than his lips. And I can tell you just by zooming in, his lips are very pathetic. He doesn't really have much lips in his original one, but I don't like these at all. So I would just use that color. Okay. Then it says to go on to double click in the color picker window, sorry. Double click on the fill color or the color picker window, and you're going to copy the Pantone color. So double click, and the Pantone color is right here. It says Pantone number. I'm just going to hit Control C because it's already highlighted, so that's going to copy it. And it says go to the Adobe Color Creator website. Now, while I'm on here, it says switch to the complementary color option and paste your Pantone code into the base Pantone number as seen on the right. So kind of like what we see over here. I'm going to close out of that. So over here on the left, let's go to complementary. Scroll down, right here's our base one. So I'm going to paste, Control V, paste that in. I'll hit enter. There's my original color. And it looks like here's the complementary color. So here's some breakdown shades of it. Here's a dark complementary color, and here's a lighter complementary color. I would recommend using this one. So coming back to these options, copy the complementary color Pantone color you like. So it gave me two different ones. And then paste that into the color picker window. So I'll just click in here, highlight, Control C is copy. I'll go back to Illustrator and I'll paste it in here, Control V, and hit OK. Now mine is currently a stroke, and that's just because I selected the stroke. But if you're picking something that was a fill, yours would look like this right now. Okay, and that is making the background color, just a simple color circle background. So the one that I have on my example here for Illustrator is a little bit of a different color than what I have in this picture. If you want to change yours because you don't really like that complementary color, hey, it's your project. Change it all you want. Okay, you can see I liked this blue a little bit better, so I did change it to that blue instead of this kind of like ochre green color. Now, moving on, if you also have something that hangs down like a neckline or something, I do have some cropping options here. It says, note this has to be done after completing the above steps. And it says you're going to copy all torso layers. So the torso layers would be something like a shirt or a possible neck. Now, I don't really have that with my Jack Black because I have this abstract beard and his hair. So I didn't really feel the need to draw anything underneath. And if you look at my original image here, you can even see in my original image, there isn't much detail down there. So I didn't actually draw any of that. So what I do have is another file over here, and this was a student file, okay? This was just something that a student turned in a couple years ago. This was probably the first time I ever did this. And you can see nothing's really organized too well. He literally just has head, and everything in the head is thrown in one layer. So hopefully yours is a lot more organized than that, but this is kind of picking up right where I left off. So he already would have had this background color and everything. So it says that you are going to copy all torso layers that are going to be cut off, the shirt and possible neck. So if I look at his neck's not going to be cut off because it's inside of my shape. So if your neck came over the edge of the shape, then you would need to make a copy. So I'm only going to be copying his hoodie here, okay? And he did organize it enough to call this shirt. So it says make a copy of that. So I'm just going to drag that down to the new layer button, and it makes a copy. Okay. Then it says make a copy of your background shape. So I'll do the same thing. My background shape. Okay. Turn off the visibility of your original layers. That's the torso and your background. So I'll just turn that off, turn that off. And it says select all of the shapes in the copied layers. Oh, I actually skipped a step here. Sorry, it says move that copied layer above the copy torso layer. So I need to take this and move it up here. Okay, so now it kind of looks strange, but basically we're going to use this as our clipping mask. And then it says select all of the shapes in the copied layers and open the Pathfinder panel. So this is Windows Pathfinder. So to select all of these, you could click on it, but he has a lot of highlights in here. So these little tiny circles right next to it. If you hold in Shift and you select that circle, it will select everything on that layer. And it makes it nice because you see all the different things that this student had. And then we have to open the Pathfinder panel. So Windows Pathfinder. So Window and Pathfinder down here. Okay, mine's open right there. And then it says select the crop option as seen on the right. So this is the crop option right here. Find the one that says crop and select crop. So what it did was it took my shape and anything that was within that shape, it cropped it. So now it all fits in there. So if I go back you see I still have my originals, just like it says. If anything went wrong, you have your originals. But now this fits in there nicely. So now if we turn on our original background layer, now it's cropped perfectly. Hopefully this helps you create some type of background that you like. Of course, you are more than welcome to try to find your own tutorial or try to create your own background, but these were just two simple backgrounds of doing that circle that will help finish off your project.